Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have an Xbox Series X or Xbox One controller. This one is an Xbox One controller, the Elite Series 2 model. And in this video I'm gonna go over this is gonna be a two-step video, and it's gonna be a permanent fix for a joystick drifting, and or it's gonna be a temporary repair. So first we're gonna do the temporary repair, and if the temporary repair doesn't last, or if it doesn't work, it's not effective after a few days or instantly, then you wanna do a permanent repair, and I'll go on step by step how you can do that. All right, so before we do anything, let's test these joysticks and see which one is failing, and so we can work on the failing one. So I'm gonna go back to my other windows. Now that I'm on the other screen, so what we're going to do here, we're going to connect the console. The controller is connected. Now we can see there is a green icon right in here. So we're going to go new interface. Let's go home. I'm actually going to close it and reopen it. There we go. Test option, vibration, input, show dead zone, non-dead zone, apply. Start testing, use the controller. And right away we can see that right joystick, as I move up, it comes down, left or right. It's very quick, respond fast. It's working fine. And we can check the triggers, the clicks, and everything else to make sure that everything is responding. And here is responding to, I can see I leave it down and it stays down. I move it up, it stays up. And it's slowly coming down, but it's still kind of really messed up. Down, it stays down, up, it stays up. So to the side is fine. So I know the issue it's on a y-axis. So the X is okay, but the Y is bad. So we're gonna work on the Y, but we're not gonna touch the X. All right, and the right one we're not gonna touch. So we're gonna work on the left joystick. All right, let's get to it. Let's open it up. So first thing first, remove the cap. These are magnetic. Remove the bottom triggers. These are magnetic too. I already have removed them. Now we need to remove the cover. Unlike the other controllers, the bottom cover doesn't come out. This one, the whole face plate comes out. It is kind of tough. You need a really metallic spatula, like a really tough one. You want to stick it right in between the rubber right in there. And you want to jam it right in there. Start from wherever you can see it. Open it here. It went inside, and now I'm prying it open. Once I have a little open up there, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick another guitar pick in there to hold it. It does get really tough. And right underneath this one, as I'm opening it, I'm sticking this other one underneath, and it will open. Once you open one side, the rest is really easy. Now you want to grab it from here, slowly, gently move your finger across, or if not, use the spatula, slowly slide it up, and work yourself. There we go, on the side, and the whole faceplate will come out. There's a lot of triggers on the side hooks that hold the top plate. Now we are right down here. Now we're going to remove a whole bunch of screws. We're going to grab a good screwdriver set. I'll recommend you guys UFIXTEK screwdriver set. From this tool set, we're going to grab a torque number 9. And we're going to remove pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Go ahead and remove all the 6 screws. Pretty much whatever chrome screws you see on top. Also, if you guys like my video, if you find my video helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking the like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. This one has a little paper on it for the warranty, but they even misplaced it, so you might not see the chrome screw. You have to remove the white paper. Alright, now that we remove this one, before we do anything else, we need to remove this caps in here. It's not like any other console that you can just pull up the caps. In here, you want to make sure that it's straight. You want to grab a pliers. In this case, I have this wire cutters. You can use any pliers, and you want to hold it from the tip. And you don't want to go like this or move it around. You want to keep it horizontally straight, and then you want to doing it counterclockwise. It might take little force, gently straight, and it will just release itself. You just have to do everything manually, and it will come because it has a little threads right on here. It's a metallic and it threads. All right, same thing here. Keep it straight. I think it's loose. Yeah, it's loose. So we need to remove both of them in order you can clean both of them in case you want to. You can, doesn't matter if you mismatch them, it doesn't make any difference. So down there you can see this one's right in here. This is an X-axis which goes side to side, and up and down it's this one right in here. So we can do a manually repair, clean up this one, and it's not recommended because it's not going to last you many days or months. They will go bad. We're going to replace this whole thing on the second part of this video. I'll leave the link where you can purchase the whole joystick controller here. So by replacing it is a permanent fix. But before we do that, we're just going to do a short repair and see if the repair is actually working. Even if it works, because of the video, I'm still going to replace it. Right, so now we did that. We need to remove this whole outer shell. Let's see if there's more screws. No. So lift up the back. It's pretty heavy cover in the back. Now we need to, joysticks are stuck to this one right in here. So the two cables are soldered on top here. You're gonna grab a tweezers, disconnect the the controller for wireless controllers antennas. Okay. You're gonna remove two tiny screws, one on this corner, one right on this corner by the motor. These are again torque number 6, I believe. Yes, torque number 6. Remove these two tiny screws. All right. Now we can just pull up this power, bring it up. There is our audio jack right underneath. I cannot remove it completely because you can pull the triggers a little back. I see this metal rod is not letting me to pull it out completely. So we need to release this metal rod. Let me see if I can release these clips. There we go. You just have to push the hook from here, the metal, all the way to the other side. This, and then it will come out. Pull out this fan, the vibrator motors, and bring it up like this. And there we go, that's the metal thing. There's a fabric in here. Now that we removed it, I'll bring it in this position. I believe the left one was this one or that one. Let me see. Look, there's this one right here. So this is the left. So the one that was failing, when I was doing up and down, it was failing, right? So that's this trigger right in here. So I'm gonna mark it quickly so I know which one I'm working on. That one right there. So let's put this one in here so I don't like this hanging out. It can cut the cable, so then I have to solder it. So now we're gonna separate first this excess from here. So I'm gonna grab a knife, a really sharp cutter, and we're gonna stick it right in there between them, and we're just gonna separate it from here. Just gently separate it and bend it over all the way to here. Once we have separated this one, you're gonna grab a tweezers and you wanna lift up this. When you put it back in, you have to make sure the line on it has to stay straight. There's a tiny cut in there, has to stay straight. And this one on top, the springy part has to face this top portion. Okay? Now we're gonna put that down. You can see the carbon trace right in there. We're gonna clean that. What I like to use is this VW100 electronic contact cleaner for controller, for drone, for cell phone. It's really good. And what we're gonna do before we do anything, I'm gonna grab a cotton tip. And first we're gonna do a dry pass. Make sure there's no debris. You can see that there's a little bit of dirt in there. Do it nicely, one round or two rounds to clean that excess. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna spray this and we're gonna clean it up. There we go. We're also gonna clean up this part. So I'll leave it in the palm of my hand. And then I'm gonna just rub it inside that metallic. Make sure the contacts are springy right over here. They're fine. They look pretty okay. You don't want to bend them or do anything to them. Just make sure they're nice and clean. Whoops. No. Just want to make sure the contacts on these ones are clean. There we go. Now, this portion, the pick, where the springs are, this pointy spring has to facing the upside of this carbon. So I'm going to drop it in there with the pointy things facing upward. I'm going to push it right inside the contact and make a nice click. Now we can just gently clean it, push it back towards the joystick, and there we go. I'm going to spray a little bit in there too. On the other one, a little in there. On that one, I'm not touching it because it was fine. If the joystick is working fine, don't touch it. All right. Now this one, we're going to put it back together. So we're going to flip it this way. Once the top portion goes under the triggers, you want to grab this one with the contact facing up, put it right in here, just like that, and bring it down, and you have to put it right in this spot. Right here, there's a metal trigger right there, and it goes right in there. Push it down. And now we're gonna put these antenna cables back in place. They are just pushed down. Now that we put those ones in, I don't need to put the screws for testing purposes or anything like that. I'm just gonna put this one back on top. You don't need to put this metal rod, honestly. You don't need it, just to keep the whole thing together. Like there's no reason, but you can put it at the end. I'm gonna push the trigger down inside a little bit and put the cover on top and leave it like this. I could put this cover on, but I just want to test it like this. I can do it just like that. So we're gonna go back and run a test. Now we're gonna connect it and we're gonna test it out and see if it works. If it did work, you can keep it using, but this one was really bad, so I doubted that the cleaning it did work. So let's try it out. Apply is dead zone in the middle. I see already it just moved down a little bit. Right, it's working fine. Again, it stayed down, moving up. The trigger comes down, but the potentiometer in there is not working well. So this one is definitely needs to be replaced, and we're gonna replace the whole joystick right there. Okay, and this one is still fine with no problem. So let's go and change the whole thing. But if your cleaning it did work, normally it does work, but this one is really, really bad. So the repair is really out of the question. So if yours did work, you can just go ahead and clean it, and it might last you a few more months. All right, so what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go back again, remove everything, and I'll take you to my solder station, and we're gonna remove the whole joystick. So first, in here, we're gonna remove as much as we can here. We're gonna remove this one, remove that. You can take a picture of the position of the cables, so you know which cable goes where, what color, like a positive, negative, and for the motor, because we need to disconnect these ones too. So it's pretty easy. The top portion is gray, red, and gray and red. So we're gonna remove this cable and we're gonna remove the whole thing. So first, before we do that, let's go ahead and pull this out, bring it out, and let's go to the solder station and do the work in there. All right, here we're gonna see we have a solder station, a heat gun, and we got solder paste and desoldering wick. So what we're gonna do first, we are gonna remove all these cables from this side and the cables on the other side. We're gonna apply a little bit of flux on top of the connectors. Makes it easy to desolder. All right. Once we have that, so we're gonna start desoldering those. So we're gonna grab 1, 2, and we're gonna remove the rest. There we go. There we have it. Okay, we're gonna put this to one side, and we wanna work here. We wanna remove this whole thing entirely. So what I like to do, I grab a foil tape. It's a thick foil tape, and we're gonna isolate this chip right here. This is a controller chip. We're gonna put aluminum tape right over, so we don't want to overheat the chip right there. So I would like to put like 2 of them on top. So it gives you a better isolation. Okay. Now that we have that one in there, we're gonna work in here. First, we're gonna prepare the terminals. We're gonna put a little flux on every leg of the potentiometer. And we're gonna mix in a new solder. So on the legs, I'm just gonna mix in new solder. There we have it. All right, so what are we gonna do right now? Because we're gonna heat it up from here. So what I'm gonna put this workshop towel in here so I don't burn my finger while I'm heating it up. And I'm gonna heat up with a heat gun this part, and I'm gonna pull with the pliers this pointy head thing towards myself is straight forward this side. Okay, so let's grab a heat gun, and I'll place the heat gun right on the table facing me, put it in an angle. I'll set it down at 450 with maximum heat. I'll use a different pliers. So pretty much I'm heating it up. I'll put it a little like that so I can. And there we go. Now that we removed it, we're gonna cool it down with an alcohol on this side. You don't want to put the alcohol on the other side, which was extra heat. You want to cool it down from this end. Right, now this is the old one that we removed, and I got the new one right in here. So, but we need to prepare the holes in here so the new one can go right through here because the holes are covered with the solder, and we need to open up the holes right in there. To do that, we're gonna grab a little flux, and we're gonna put a flux right on top. Just put a nice amount of flux, and we are gonna use a solder wick, dip it in a flux, make sure you have it in there. So we're gonna heat it up, clean up the tip. So we are gonna pass on top, hold it in on top. If it's not working, what you wanna do, you wanna put more solder on the holes so it mixes up with the old solder. And I like to cut this one a little bit because it's dirty, so I'll cut a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna clean it up. And we're gonna see if all the holes are open up nicely. I see that two of them are still not opened up completely. Alright. I believe that they all opened up, so let's test it out. We're gonna try to insert. No, this one is still some left from this side. Okay. Let's test it off if it goes in place, and beautiful. It's right in there, and I see it's sitting nice and flush, and all the pins are coming out of this other end. Okay. This was the old one, so I got the new one right here. Now we're gonna clean it up again. So clean up both sides. I'm using isopropylic alcohol 100%. Don't use anything less than 98. Alright, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna put the potentiometer right on top, align it, make sure all the pins are bended inward inside the connector, and it's sitting straight right on top. Now that we have it in place, what you want to do, you want to put flux right on the new fresh flux right on top of the connectors, on the legs. So this way, the solder will go easy. There we have it. So I'm going to grab a little bit of solder, clean up the tape, and grab it. I'm going to first do the corners. There. There. First do the four corners, so it keeps the whole thing in place. And then you can just run and do a quick solder on the tiny legs. Don't keep the solder too long on the legs. You want to do it quickly, less than 1 second or 1 second, and that's it. The key is to have enough flux on the pins so the solder will absorb really quickly. So that's what you want. If you keep it too long, you're going to damage the potentiometer. You want to do it as quick as possible. So double check, make sure you soldered all of them. And that should be all. Now we're going to clean it up again with an alcohol. There we go. Now we're going to remove this tape over, and with an alcohol we're going to clean up the whole thing in here. Don't worry, there's a lot of tape glue right on the chip. Nothing's going to happen. There's no problem there. Now we're going to bring this one in here, and we need to solder in the terminals on this side. So we know that the black one is the one nearest to the motor. We're going to solder that. Then the red one quickly. The black one right on top. And the gray one right on top of the other one. Same thing in here. We're going to solder the black one right underneath. The red one secondary. And the black one. And the gray one. And there we have it. Alright. Now let's go ahead and test it out. So what are we gonna do here? We are gonna pretty much do the same thing again to test it. Log it like that. Bring it down. Push it inside the connector. Put the antennas in its place. They just snap in, straight in. Now we're gonna put these cables inward so it doesn't get pinched by the covers. I like to rotate this fan motor so the cables stay near towards the base. There we have it. Now let's go ahead and put the tiny screws on the corners. I'm pretty sure that this is solved, but again, to test it you don't need to put the screws, but I am pretty confident about what I've been doing. I've been doing this for a very long time. So yeah, so let's grab the back cover. You could put this one through, but honestly is not needed. You have to put this one before putting the board. You have to put this one in there, and the board has to go over here. There's one right in here too. But honestly, they use this one just for the manufacturing to guide them to the process. It's actually not needed because the whole thing stays on other controls. They don't have them. But again, if you want to put it back on, you need to, and let me do it for the sake of the video because I know many people started screaming why you didn't put that and it's important and stuff like that. So for the sake of this video, I will put it in there. There we go. Once you put it in there, now you're gonna unjack this once again. Move the cables out of the way. Bring it on top. Guide it through. And put it right on top. Smash it down. And there we have it. So for those people that are paranoid, it's just a guide for the assembly line. There's nothing special about it. Grab the cover, push these triggers inward, just halfway through. Bring the bottom cover on top. And set it down into its spot right there. Now let's test it out. So let me go back to my other screen. Let's grab the cable, plug in the cable, vibration, test option, all the dead zone, start testing, 1, and there we go. Straight, up, down, it goes back to its place. So dead zone is fixed. Same thing on the right, left, the boat comes back down. So this is a permanent fix, and this is what I recommend if you want to do it, so you can keep it at good condition. So this one was going to last many years, like you bought it from the factory. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the screws that we removed with the other torque number 9, I believe it was. Yeah, it was torque number 9. And put all the screws right on top. Again, I hope you guys like this video and helped you guys out. If you guys have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I always try to answer them. Doesn't matter what kind of questions you have, you need help doing it or anything, any assist. I'm willing to help you guys out anytime you guys need one. Just put the screw. You don't need to over tight the screws, just firmly put it in place. There we go. Alright. Then you want to grab these caps, you want to put it right on top and just clockwise until it becomes nice and firm. You don't need to over tight this one, just manually bring it And that's it. No need to tighten it up extra. There we go. And put the top cover right on top of it. Push down all the top portion. I usually do this side and then bring it down. Put the side and make sure you hit those nice big click sounds in the middle everywhere. And you're all set to go. Put the caps on top and enjoy. And this is how you can change the joystick permanently for your Elite Series 2 model controller. Again, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.